What's up, everybody? Wagwan Mwah! To all my subscribers. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. I'm so very happy to have you. Don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more interesting videos like this one. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about a question that I get asked pretty often, and I too struggled with it when I decided I was going to go back natural. Are you ready for it? Okay, so today we're going to talk about 10 things you need to know before you go back to be natural. Before I share my 10 tips with you guys, I just want to put this out there that it will help persons who intend to go back natural, like permanently or at least for an extended period of time. So these 10 tips that I'll be sharing with you definitely will help you if you're in it for the long haul on this journey. So in the number 1 spot, I would say change your negative mindset. And I'm certain that experiences like this one, or maybe this one, expressions like, your hair too dry, it too tough, lad, this area enough, it picky, it bumpy, meaning that the hair is just too tightly coiled. It may be too long, it may be too voluminous, and so we find it a challenge manipulating the hair. And so those experiences and expressions would have contributed to us forming some negative perceptions of our hair. And how are we going to correct that? We're going to educate ourselves. We're going to empower ourselves with the information that's going to teach us how it is that our hair operates, how is it that we're going to manipulate the techniques that we're going to be using to totally erase those perceptions. Your hair is no less of a challenge than any other challenge that you would face out there in life, guys. And what do we do when we get those challenges? We simply find some solutions. Now, I'm not hitting anybody who decides that they're going to chemically process their hair. That's also a solution, right? But what I'm saying, for those persons who really want to embrace their natural hair, then yes, we need to reverse those negative perceptions. Number 2, any chemical that will change the natural texture of your hair, ditch those, guys. Throw them out. So your texturizers, your relaxers, whatever it may be. I remember when I went back to be natural, I couldn't deal with, I had what you call black pepper grades, those tightly coiled kinky curls, and I just couldn't look at them. I'd grown so accustomed to seeing my hair lay flat on my head. I was like, no man, but that wasn't going to happen because that wasn't what I was given to work with. And so I grew into understanding, I grew into loving my hair once I equipped myself with information that would help me to handle the hair that I was given. So I would say ditch those, because those will change your natural texture. That's not what you're in it for. Okay? Number 3, no direct heat on the hair, guys. Of course, you know, heat above a certain temperature is definitely going to burn the hair or can lead to damaging the hair. And so what we're moving towards on this journey is a healthy, natural hair. So we're going to ditch all the heating tools. So we're talking about your hot combs, your curling irons, your flat irons, your blow dryers. I would say ditch those, at least for now, right? I don't remember what it is, but you could probably look that up. But hair actually burns, I think it's over 460 something degrees Fahrenheit. So you want to look that up to see, because I know that a lot of naturals on here do use like blow dryers on very low heat settings to assist with the drying of the hair, and that's fine. But we don't, I would say, largely stay away from those heating tools. Direct heat on the hair, and I say direct heat on the hair. Okay, number 4, you want to know your hair porosity. And what's that? Okay, so to the best of my knowledge and understanding, hair porosity is really your hair's ability to absorb and therefore maintain or keep the moisture in your hair. And us kinky girls, our hair just super loves moisture. It thrives, it does very well in moisture, and so the longer it can retain moisture, the better it is for you. Now, understanding your hair porosity will help you to make some very important decisions in terms of putting together a regimen, selecting products, the right products and the right tools that you're going to use to manipulate your hair or to enhance the good health of the hair. So you want to know that. Now, there are several tests on hair, videos on YouTube, literature out there that you can read that can tell you how you do your porosity test. But I'll definitely be doing a video on hair porosity and testing for hair porosity, so you can look out for that. Okay, so my fifth tip would be know your hair type. Your hair type is also, knowing your hair type is also going to help you to make some good decisions about the tools and the products that you choose to use in your hair. And there are two hair typing charts that I'm familiar with. One is Andre Walker and the other one is the Louis chart. They're basically the same, it's just the wording that's different. But all you've got to do is, and I'll be posting samples of those on the screen somewhere. And so all you've got to do is take one of your strands and compare it to see where do you fall in order to know your type. And then you can do some more information as to what are the tools and products that are best suited. But I'm going to be sharing with you as my sixth tip products, and I believe that generally these product selections will generally enhance the good health of your hair. So the first product I want to introduce to you is, if we can call it a product, is water. Yes, and I think it's the most affordable and accessible of them all. And water is going to be your hair's best friend, because of course it is, in my opinion, the best source of moisture for your hair. And so water is one of the things you're going to be needing. Here's my water. This is a very old Victoria's Secret bottle that I use, because I find the ones that spritz bottles that I get in my local stores here, I think the sprout of it is a tad bit too big, and so when I apply the water to my hair, it kind of drenches my hair too much. So I very much like the spritz that I get from this, and I normally mix my water with my aloe vera juice, right? And I do 3/4 of water to 1/4 portion of my aloe vera juice. Alright, but if you're just starting out, water alone is quite fine until you understand your hair type and how it responds to certain products available out there. Okay, so with that out of the way, I want to introduce to you also a good clarifying shampoo, right? So you're going to need to clean your hair, and so this is what I currently use, and I'm just testing this one out. This is the Shea Moisture Strengthen, Grow and Restore shampoo, and actually that's my first bottle. And to be honest, I'm really an African black soap kind of person, and that is what I've been using over the years. And I decided I was going to try something else, so I'm going with the Shea Moisture. And so you need a good clarifying shampoo, one that is importantly sulfate free, because what happened, guys, is that sulfates really strips the hair of the natural oils and moisture that would be there. And so, you know, as I mentioned earlier, the less moisture, the less moisture in the hair, or the drier the hair gets, the more brittle it is and more susceptible or prone to breakage. It's easier to break, and so sulfates tend to dry and strip the hair too much. So you want to get a sulfate-free shampoo, right? Okay, you want to follow up with a silicone-free conditioner, and you want one maybe like this one. So I'm using this one, the Shea Moisture Curl and Shine Conditioner, And as I said, I'm trying these out. Before that, I was working with my Suave Naturals in the coconut scent, and this one is very, very good. Silicones largely tend to be what we call non-water. So non-water solubles don't dissolve in water, and so even though they provide a lot of slip and it combats frizziness and helps with the detangling process quite well, it really creates a barrier between the hair and moisture getting in. So you don't want those silicones on top of the hair, and of course create build-up, right? If your regimen really allows you to clarify and cleanse your hair quite frequently, then I guess it's okay, but I would say largely stay away from those conditioners with silicones in them. Okay, so next I want to talk to you about the oils, and we're still on the products. So you need a good oil. After we've cleansed the hair and we've added our moisture, would that be water? And I should mention just before that is, once you've cleansed the hair, I normally follow up with a good leave-in conditioner, right? And this of course again provides added moisture to the hair, and it also helps with defining whatever style you're going to be putting your hair in after that. But water largely is considered to be moisture enough for the hair. Okay, right, so my oils, my go-to oils would be my avocado oil, and that I'm almost out of avocado oil, and can I tell you, I've had this oil for over a year already. So these products really do go a long way. I have my coconut oil, and this is cold press virgin coconut oil. So you want to get the one that's in the natural most organic state to use. I also use the castor oil, and this is my first bottle of Jamaican black castor oil. Really, I use any castor oil, but a lot of persons have been raving about this one, so I decided I'd try it. It's basically the same to me, so I would say go out and get that one per se, but just get a castor oil to use in your hair. And then my favorite of them all is my olive oil. Oh my god, my olive oil loves me, and I'm so very much in love with my olive oil, right? And you can see I've got a big old bottle of it. It's so very gentle on my hair. It does my hair very well. It does not give me as much shine as my coconut oil, but I do love my olive oil. That's the actual oil I started off with when I took on this journey. So those are some of the oils that I have as my oils, but there are other oils as like grapeseed oil, almond oil, jojoba oil, argan oil, you name it. That's a whole nother video for you. Alright, so those are the oils, and an oil is really necessary to seal in the moisture. Think about oil and water. If you pour water in a glass and oil, after that the oil really sits on top, so it really creates a barrier between the elements and the water. And if you think about it, the moisture will be retained longer in the hair because of that oil barrier on top of it. And then you follow up with a good cream. Did I mention all my oils? Oh yeah, this is my concoction. So it's a mixture of several different oils except my castor oil. Castor oil tends to be a little bit too heavy, so I don't add it to these. And then I just simply apply this as a part of my hair regimen, my oil, after I've added the moisture, and then I follow up with a good cream, which I recommend to you, African shea butter. So this one, the African shea butter, raw shea butter. It really doesn't matter if it's the yellow one or the white one, guys, because it just depends on the shea nut that is used, but the benefits are still the same. Alright, so I tend to use my African shea butter. It's a good cream. There are several other creams out there you can try from the Miss Jessie's line, the Alikay Natural lines. There's this other one, I'm not remembering that, the Shea Moisture line. They've got some very good creams that you can use. So Basically, if you're just starting off, I would say good clarifying shampoo, silicone free conditioner, and oil of your choice, and your raw shea butter. And you probably need like a leave-in conditioner or one of those other creams that's going to help you to style, like the Kinky Curly, no, the Miss Jessie curly pudding, or the Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Smoothie. Those are some of the ones that I've tried in the past, and they worked well for me in terms of defining my hairstyles. Alright, so now that we've spoken about products, I think it's also necessary to tell you that you need to do some research as to suppliers that carries natural hair products. You want to do your price comparisons so you know you're getting your bang for your buck, and also consider online options as well. Alright, so we move on to our tools, guys. Very important, because these are what you're going to be using to manipulate your hair. The pure naturalists out there will tell you that they don't even use tools in their hair. You know, like you have the vegetarian, the ovo and the ovo-lacto and all of that, and the strict vegetarian. Oh, we've got some very strict naturalists out there, and they'll tell you that they only use your fingers to manipulate their hair. But if you're not ready to go strict yet, then these are some of the tools that I would recommend that you use. So I couldn't find my very wide toothed comb, or the wider tooth comb, to this one, and I'm only thinking of one word or two words: my daughter. Alright, so I'll go look for that soon. But the Denman brush, not the Denman brush, the wide tooth comb is what one of the tools that you're going to need, and it helps with detangling. I normally follow up with my medium wide tooth comb, and then my pick comb, as I call it. And this one I largely used after I did my big chop, and I was like about 6 months into it. It gave me some nice soul afro look, and so that one is a good one to get as well. My pigtail comb, I only use this portion, and it's just to section my hair like that. And then, yes guys, I use my regular old brush. I mean, a lot of naturalists on here will tell you to use a toothbrush, but it really doesn't work for my edges. But what I do is I use the very sides there, and I do a sweeping motion like that, so it does not irritate my scalp too much. And then I have my trusty Denman brush. I've had this since I've been natural. It has been through so much with me, but guys, this is one of the best things that I have in my tool collection, and so that really helps with detangling the hair. I actually use it at the very last stage of my detangling. Okay guys, this other one is like the holy grail of natural hair. I'm like, if you don't have one of these, you're not ready for this yet. You're not ready for this journey. I'll call it a tool, but it can also be considered as a hair accessory, but because of the major benefits, I'm calling it a tool today, and it is your satin bonnet or your satin scarf. So guys, you're gonna need one of those, either a silk bonnet or a satin bonnet or scarf, what we call tied, right? Because that is really gonna help us to, for one, set our hairstyles nicely. You'd have seen in my previous video where I did a hair tutorial. Then after each style, I just used my satin scarf to just set the style. It works well. It also creates a barrier between your bed linen and your hair, right? So it protects the hair from being dried out. If you think about it, 3/4 of our bed linen inventory is made of cotton. Now, if you go through, you add your products, your moisture, your nighttime routine, you get into bed, if you think about it, the cotton is really gonna pull all the moisture out of all those expensive products, honey, and your expensive sheet. You don't want to risk that, so it really creates that barrier. Also prevents breakage, because if the hair gets drier, then as I said before, it's more susceptible to breakage, so the satin scarf works well there. Also, it can be used as a hair accessory, because if you're going out, it's a hot day, the sun is out, and you just don't want your hair to dry out too much, you can also throw it on your head as a head wrap or something. Nice trendy one. It works fine. So that's the final tool that I'll talk to you about. And I'm looking down at my trusty notebook, and I believe I'm at number 8. And number 8, guys, one of the best things I've ever done since I've gone back natural, and it's really to join a natural hair community. Join a community of natural hair people, guys. You'll never regret it. When I started off, I sought to get information, and it led me to YouTube, and boy, I found just a rich resource pool of information that I could just delve in. I'm so grateful for that. I also subscribe to blogs, and I'm also a subscriber to Black Girls with Natural Hair, Black Girls with Long Hair. And so these are some of the community that you can associate yourself with to get information that's going to help you on this journey. When I talk about ideas, tips, it's just great. So join a natural hair community, guys. And number 9, get a hair twin. Yes, a hair twin is somebody else out there with the same hair type, the same texture as you do. It's like a one-stop shop. If you became overwhelmed like I did when I started, because the information was just out there, was so much, I got overwhelmed. And so I find locating or identifying a hair twin helped me to just get all the information I needed in one place, right? And I basically copied that person's regimen, not saying that I got all the results I needed or I advanced as quickly as that person did. Because understand this, guys, your natural hair is like can easily be a second job. And remember, you have other things to attend to in life. You're definitely not your hair. So there are things that will detract you, there are situations that will come up, and so you may not get the same results. So don't be discouraged, but at least you know it's a one-stop shop, this person, and the information is free. You'll be able to know the products immediately, that they've been through the experimental stages and all of that, and so it's just a one-stop shop for you. So I'd recommend getting a hair twin. And finally, since you've been with me through this entire video, it shows that you have number 10, which is patience. Yes, guys, I know when we start this journey, especially when we start to research and we're seeing how persons are progressing and so forth, we get excited, and sometimes we're like 4, 5, 3 years behind. I know that it gets a little rough, and sometimes you feel discouraged, but just be patient. Just get the information, apply them, enjoy the journey. It's just like having a baby, a child, or a pet, a plant, and watching that plant go through different stages and enjoying it. I would encourage you to do the same, and just be patient. Once you do all of those things, what's going to stop you from yielding the same results or similar results? So just hang in there, guys. Exercise patience and enjoy the journey. So there you go, guys. Finally, I got through my 10. I don't know if you can tell, guys, but I'm battling the cold, and I had fever earlier this week. But I really wanted to come on here and to do this video because I know that you guys are looking out for it, right? So remember, guys, I want to hear from you. So if you found the information useful, let me know. Put that in the comment section. If you think there are things to be added to what I have here, fine, because we need the information. We're learning from each other. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Share the video and like the video. Until the next video, I want to say love, light, and much blessings. Thank you. Bye.